Okay, what do Steph Curry, Taylor Swift, and Kamala Harris all have in common? They all claim to be Christian. I did not know that until I started making this video, that all three of them claim to be Christians, but I'm going to show you why they are fake Christians. Furthermore, not just fake Christians, they're dangerous people in and of themselves. So I want to first talk about Steph Curry, why he's endorsing Kamala Harris, because this is a major issue right now. A lot of celebrities are coming out endorsing Kamala Harris, who, if you don't know, is for the murder of babies and child sacrifice, and also for having your small children's genitals removed for the sake of, I don't even know what. But that's what we're going to talk about later. Right now, I want to talk about why Steph Curry endorses Kamala Harris. This might shock you, and I'm going to show you something you probably don't know right after this video. So let's watch this here.
Anytime you step into this lane, you know it's going to be received, in a lot of different ways. And for me, it's all about creating conversations that are about being decent human beings, first and foremost. I think we've lost that.
Okay, so we need to be decent human beings. Amen. Let's see what he says here.
A little bit to where, obviously, endorsing Kamala is important for me, for my family, especially women's rights. And
okay, so this is why it's important. Women's rights. Isaiah, what does he mean by women's rights, you ask? Well, we know what he means by women's rights. That is the right for a woman to kill her baby while it's inside of her. Kamala Harris and her vice president that she's running with both believe that you should be able to literally murder your child up until full term. And I'm going to make another video about that. But that's what these people believe. So he's voting for her because of her stance on abortion. This is a Christian, by the way, who made I Can Do All Things Through Christ famous. And yet he supports a wicked president because of her stance on her giving people the right to kill her baby. Fake Christian. It's demonic. You cannot be a Christian and believe abortion's okay. You cannot be pro-choice and a Christian. It does not exist. It's just disgusting. It just makes my blood boil when we think this is normal and this is okay.
And thinking about, what's at stake with this election, and understanding, like, we need to be in a position.
And I love when these celebrities tell why they believe in voting for a certain candidate, and they just go on for 2 minutes of a word salad saying nothing. All he said so far is because of her view on women's rights, which is abortion, obviously.
Where women have the right to choose what's right for them. And
see, women have the right to choose. My body, my choice, which is the dumbest slogan ever, because it's not your body and shouldn't be your choice because the body inside of you is not yours.
That's at the top of the list for me. I have amazing women in my life who,
Let me play that again. So that's right at the top of the list for me, he says. So the reason why he's voting for her at the top of the list, and I agree, the top of the list for me is having people against abortion. The top of the list for him is having people that are for abortion. That's the most important thing to Steph Curry, is that he has a president that allows women to kill their baby.
That's at the top of the list for me. I have amazing women in my life who've, been a huge inspiration to me. But knowing Kamala and having been around her, and I understand she's qualified for this job. She's I think representing what it means to be a great leader and being a decent human being in terms of representing our country the right way. So
easy choice for him because of abortion. Now, here's the irony. Most people don't know this, but actually his mom was going to abort him. Steph Curry's mom. Here's the irony. He's voting for Kamala because she's for abortion. That's he said it himself. Women's rights, top of the list. A woman's right to choose whether she can kill her baby or not. But his mom was going to abort him. So in his own mind and his own understanding, he should be dead. He shouldn't be here because he's for abortion. And thankfully, his mom didn't abort him. But just watch this. Watch this.
I am all for people telling their truth. But do you have to tell everything? Like, maybe not let the world know you wanted to abort the legend that is Steph Curry. But maybe that's just me. So let's get into it.
So she's going to tell us how she changed her mind at the abortion clinic. Watch this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Fumble. I'm Jackie Ray, or Jackie Ray TV if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter. But first, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Now, deep down inside, I am sure Sonya Curry had this conversation with Steph long ago. And if Sonya is pro-life, sharing her story now is definitely timely. And now she's
so his mom's pro-life,
also promoting her new memoir. So giving salacious details is just good business. While doing an interview promoting her new memoir called Fierce Love, Sonya talks about how Steph wasn't a planned pregnancy and she considered abortion. She says they were at the hospital and had an appointment and then they backed out. Sonya talking about this moment with Stephen Wardell Curry.
So literally she had an appointment to get an abortion because he was unplanned and she backed out. You ought to be thankful, Steph Curry, that your mom is pro-life.
It's good news for Del Curry fans. We all kind of thought this book was going to just be messy and talking about the divorce and the cheating and the lying and all of the drama. But apparently, this is not the case. According to People magazine, Sonya Curry's book is about raising her.
Okay, so there it is. Steph Curry's mom did not abort him, canceled the appointment. The title says changed her mind at the clinic. Let's go to another video here of why he voted for Kamala Harris.
Steph, you endorsed Kamala Harris at the DNC. Michael Jordan famously said Republicans buy shoes too. Why put yourself out there and take a position?
Well, first, it was a conviction of, what
Now, I want you to notice this whole interview. His head's down, his wife's head's down. He can't even look at the camera. He can't even look at her. I think deep down inside, he's ashamed to be endorsing a candidate that's for the murder of babies. But for whatever reason, he still chooses to endorse her, who's, again, these politicians are obsessed with child sacrifice. So demonic how obsessed they are with child sacrifice.
you believe. Being active and actually, publicly endorsing her, being a part of the DNC.
They literally are looking down the whole time. They're so ashamed they can't even look up.
Back in 2020 as well. I approach everything with decency and humanity. It's not like I'm out here casting flames at the other side. It's just it's what I believe in. Whether you agree with me or not, like, you want to be able to foster positive conversations. And you want to be.
There's nothing positive about killing babies. And I know this video is going to get flagged and get probably not put on the algorithm, but we just have to speak truth. Doesn't matter about the views. We got to speak truth.
Be able to, have intelligent conversations about what's actually happening. And I do hate the inherent, backlash you'll get if you just say anything. They don't really hear what you say or how you say it. It's just the fact that, people might be against the way you think. And that's how life's supposed to be. Not everybody's supposed to think the same way. Not everybody's supposed to have the same beliefs. But you're supposed to have a level of decency and humanity to say, I respect you, I understand where you're.
So far, he hasn't said one thing about Kamala Harris. He's just basically saying people are not going to agree with him.
Coming from, you can foster that kind of conversation. So that's why I do it, to make sure we're still in that lane. And obviously, like I said, it's what I believe in, and you live with that, knowing you're not going to please everybody. Yeah. But at least that's the spirit I'm trying to come with.
Okay, so he said nothing there. You cannot support the murder of babies. That'd be the highest priority for you, and still be a Christian. Steph Curry is a fake Christian. You're like, don't judge. The Bible says to judge those who call themselves Christians and that are in the church. So he calls himself a Christian. He's in the church. We are called to judge. We don't judge outsiders, but he's saying he's a Christian, yet he's endorsing abortion. So he's not a Christian. Who else is endorsing abortion? You guessed it. Next on the list, Taylor Swift. So she just posted this, and they said 500,000 people registered to vote after she posted this. She said, like many of you, I watched the debate tonight. If you haven't already, now is a great time to do your research on the issues at hand and the stances these candidates take on topics that matter to you the most. As a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about the proposed policies and plans for this country, which we know this isn't true because up until a couple days ago, Kamala Harris didn't have any policies. She didn't have any policies. She didn't post policies to her website until a few days ago. And guys, I know are you getting into politics now? I've always prided myself in not being in politics. Here's what I've realized. This is not a political issue. This is an issue of life and death. When you have candidates openly saying it's okay to kill your baby at full term, which is what she believes and the people she puts in office believe, this is life and death. This is not politics. So get over that, oh, this is a political video. No, it's not. It's a video about life. Recently, I was made aware of AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run. It conjured up my fears that I need to be transparent. Okay, so Shane, I need to be transparent about who I'm going to vote. I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election. I'm voting for her because she fights for the rights, which we already know that's abortion, and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. I think she's steady-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz, who has been standing up for alphabet community. So she's for abortion and she's for him because he's for the alphabet community. And these people think that if your kid decides at 5 years old that they no longer want to be a boy, they want to be a girl, you should get your kid taken from you by CPS if you don't agree, and your kid should get their genitals removed. That is what this agenda is. Do your research. Tim Walz is for the removal of child genitalia. It's disgusting. IVF and women's rights for her own body. So there's abortion there again. This is what they're obsessed with. They're obsessed with abortion. They're obsessed with child sacrifice. I'm going to tell you why, because their God is Satan. Their God is Satan. That is why they're obsessed with child sacrifice. I've done my research and I've made my choice. Your research is yours to do. The choice is yours to make. blah, 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 in order to vote. Okay, link to register to vote, all that, which I have a friend here that liked this post. So let me go ahead and unfollow Henrik Music. All right, yeah. Not friends. I'm not going to be friends with anybody that supports this trash. This is insane. Well, friends with follow. I'm sorry, I'm not friends with him. I followed him. Anyway, that's here nor there. All right, let's watch a video now of Taylor Swift. This was the last election cycle. You said, well, you said she was a Christian. This is where she says she's a Christian. So she's going to tell her parents that she wants to talk about politics last election, and her parents are trying to talk her out of it. This is her mom and dad with her. It gets very heated, and this is where she says she's a Christian. Again, if you're pro-choice, you're a fake Christian. If you believe it's okay to murder a baby, you're a fake Christian. I'm confident to say that.
We've not got involved with politics or religion.
So this is her dad saying we've not got involved in this stuff yet, for context.
Yeah, but this is on the home front. And also, back in the presidential election, I was in such a horrendous place
It's her dad.
that I wasn't gonna pop my head out of the sand for
Why
anything.
would you? I mean, does Bob Hope do
Well,
it? Does
why-
Bing Crosby
well-
do it? Does Mick Jagger
what the
do it?
hell? Come
No, what
on.
I'm saying right now is
Bob Hope and
First
Bing
of all,
Crosby.
these aren't your dad's celebrities, and
This is her dad trying to talk her out of getting into religion or politics because he knows it's going to upset
these
people.
aren't your dad's Republicans.
Imagine if we came to you and said, hey, we've got this idea that we could halve the number of people that come to you next tour.
And the other thing, just from a security
So you
standpoint,
think people-
Taylor Swift comes out against Trump.
I don't care if they write that. I'm sad that I didn't 2 years ago, but I can't change that. I'm saying right now that this is something that I know is right, and you guys, I need to be on the right side of history. And if he
Taylor-
doesn't win, then at least I tried.
Taylor, here's the problem.
I just want to read you what I wrote, and I'm going to try to start. I just really want you to know that this is important to me.
I
and this
totally
is something that,
agree with the issue, but
have
let
you
me explain
heard
to you.
hers? Have you just heard
Yes,
it?
I've read the entire thing, and the bottom line right now, I'm
This was the last election that she was going to speak out against Donald Trump, which, by the way, guys, if you're taking advice from Taylor Swift, who writes albums about choosing the wrong person to date, that's what most of all her songs are about, you probably shouldn't be taking political advice from someone who can't choose who she's going to date.
terrified. I'm the guy that went out and bought armored cars.
I worry for her safety as much as anybody does. Maybe more.
It really is a big deal to me. She votes against fair pay for women. She votes against the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act, which is just basically protecting us from domestic abuse and stalking.
Protecting who? You literally a multi-billionaire. You drive a private jet everywhere. What?
She thinks that if you're a gay couple, or even if you look like a gay couple, you should be allowed to be kicked out of a restaurant. It's really basic human rights, and it's right and wrong at this point, and I can't see another commercial and see her disguising these policies behind the words Tennessee Christian values. Those aren't Tennessee Christian values. I live in Tennessee. I am Christian.
Okay, so right there on screen, Taylor Swift. I live in Tennessee. I'm a Christian. So she calls herself a Christian. Clearly, her music's about a bunch of vulgar things, but also she promotes witchcraft. She calls herself a witch. I made a whole video about that. She calls herself a witch. Can you be a witch and a Christian? No. No, you can't be. Taylor Swift is not a Christian. She's for abortion. She's into witchcraft. She's a fake Christian. All right, fake Christian number 3. Now, this is crazy because I didn't know this. Kamala Harris is a Christian. Again, the person that's for killing babies up until full term calls herself or says she's a Christian. So a loving God, the Good Samaritan. And this website is comical to me. It's Evangelicals for Harris. So, which I don't know how you can be for somebody that has such demonic policies. Like, to me, she's worse than Jezebel. She's for the worst. If you go look into her policies, what she believes with trans, what she believes with, basically she believes that taxpayers should pay people in prison and in jail that want to be transgender to get their genitals removed and to get sex change surgery. Taxpayers should be paying for that. She says that openly. Oh, and she's for defunding the police. I'll show you that in my next video. She wants to defund the police. She's against law enforcement. She's for the murder babies. I don't know who could vote for her. But anyways, she calls herself a Christian. Her faith journey started when she was a little girl singing in the children's choir in Oakland. She said that I've learned that faith is not only something we express in church and prayerful reflection, but also in the way we live our lives, do work, and pursue respective things. So she talks about how she traces her Christian walk back. Favorite verse is 2 Corinthians 5:7. We walk by faith and not by sight. Says I always believed in a loving God. She puts her trust in God. Then it says, while a deeply committed and faithful Christian, Vice President Harris has great respect for other faith traditions. Her mother, Shyamala, I don't want to say that, Shyamala Gopalan, and relatives in India took her to Hindu temples. She joins her husband in Jewish traditions and celebrations. So she's for all religions. Mixing religions doesn't matter. She has respect for the Baptist tradition. So she talks about she's a Christian. Okay, she's a person of faith. Apparently, she's like a Baptist Christian, but she has a relationship with God. I did not know she calls herself a Christian. Again, can you call yourself a Christian and be for the murder of babies? No. Can you call yourself a Christian and be for the removing of children's genitals? No. Can you be a Christian and be for all of these things about defunding police, having no law in certain places? Absolutely not. I don't personally understand how any Christian could be for these things and still be a Christian. I personally believe if you are pro-choice and you believe it's okay to murder a baby in the womb, you are not a Christian. You are not a Christian. You cannot be. You cannot be for murder, which the Bible calls an abomination detestable to God, and be for these policies and these people. So Steph Curry, Taylor Swift, Kamala Harris, all three of them fake Christians. Should we judge Christians? Yes, that's what Paul said. And all three of them do not pass the test. They don't have any fruit of repentance. They have no fruit of being Christian. And you should not be following these people's policies. You should not be following these people's opinions. You should not be following the things that they say. They have no idea what they're talking about. And it's just sad that we live in a time where these huge celebrities could endorse demonic child sacrifice and people be okay with it. And a lot of you Christians still listen to the music. You'll still endorse Taylor Swift. You'll still buy Steph Curry jerseys. Actually, you know what? I think I have a pair of shoes from Steph Curry from years and years ago. Somebody bought me. I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to go throw those out right after this video. This is just disgusting to me. Give me your thoughts down below in the comments. If you think I'm wrong, tell me. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I think this is, I think I hit the nail on the head. But I'd like to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. Type God bless if you're still watching till the end, and pray about becoming a monthly partner with our ministry. We're viewer supported, so we keep putting all this out and doing these ministry videos and content because of your guys' support. So hit my link to my website to become a monthly partner and check out my live tab. I have thousands of hours of preaching and teaching on the live tab. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.